Welcome back to a new episode here in SUALVI, and today is episode number 8 of the 30 by 30 challenge that I have set myself. So I'm gonna show you what title we're gonna make today. I kind of sort of got inspired by, I don't know if you could say those comic magazines, whatever. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of like what it looks like. And I did it twice. I did it a couple times because there were some imperfect things. Like let's put the thing right here. You see how here is not like really looking sharp. I guess you could say it's not looking good. It's not accurate. So then I had to redo everything twice, so then it looks perfect, if you could say so. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. First of all, as always, we're gonna create a new fusion composition and get in it. And the first thing that we're gonna do is create our background, and we're gonna create another background. Why is that, you might think? I will show you in a little bit. So we're gonna put this one as red. As always, we're gonna use one that has a sort of any color that we could use. Now let's put double screens and go in it. And then this one is we're gonna create a mask for the one that's in the foreground. And the mask is gonna be, we don't have to worry too much about the size of it yet, because we can adjust it later on when we have our text ready. So then after that, we're gonna make a copy of these, and we're gonna make these paint mode as multiply. So then when we animate it, it's gonna disappear unless it's over it. The next thing that we need to do is to copy these. We could actually do it in a different way. We're gonna animate all of these first, and then we're gonna create the copy of it and put it in the place that it has to be. So we're gonna create the keyframe for these to end at 21 frames. So we're gonna go to the center here and create a keyframe, and then we're gonna go, let's say 12, and we're gonna move it out of the way. Okay, that's it for that part. Then this is in the background, actually. I mean foreground. The next thing that we need to do is to create a copy of these. I'm gonna paste it here, and we actually need to make a new merge for this. There it goes. And we can press Ctrl T to make these the background and these the foreground. Because in the animation that we did, the white part was the background, as we can see. We can animate it right here and then just make the end of this a little bit longer. And we're gonna remove this keyframe, and we're gonna go 2 keyframes, and then we're gonna set the end point here by just selecting here and put it 0.5. Then we're gonna change the background, and we have to adjust the position of these, of the bottom one, so it looks like a little shadow effect. So we have to go back there, and actually we can just copy these keyframes that we have here onto these position right here. Center is that, then go here, copy the Y, and there. So then it's gonna end in that position, and then we can go to the first keyframe so it doesn't look weird. So it looks although it looks kind of interesting that it comes down not exactly straight from the side. Okay, then it kind of looks a little bit too slow to my liking. So I'm gonna go to the keyframes, and I'm gonna select those keyframes and select both of those and drag them a couple frames back. So the bottom one is gonna last, let's see, it's It's gonna last 8 keyframes. And the top one is gonna last 2 more. So then when we have this part ready, what we have to do is go to the rectangle and add a motion blur. I put it at level 4, and then we're gonna put this at 100 and do the same thing for this other part. Whoa, that's 1000, that's not good. There, so then when it renders, let's see how that looks. Yeah, the back, actually, we animated the keyframes wrong. The background is supposed to be coming in later. So we have to go and put these keyframes in front. So let's go here. It becomes a little bit complicated sometimes to select these. There it goes. Let's see how that looks. It's fine. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is we're gonna create a transform node for this part, so then later on we can move it and put it wherever we want without affecting the keyframes of the animation. And we are going to create a copy of all of these. And then go here. Looks really messy, but once we group these things, then it will be fine. Okay, so then when we have these, we're gonna have to create a new merge node. So by just going here, oops, and then we're gonna select this transform and gonna move it around a little bit. Like that. The next step is to create our text. So we're gonna go here, create a text, which is gonna be the main. What I had in the other one was SUALVI visuals. So we're gonna put here, but we cannot see it because it's not connected yet. And we're gonna copy and paste another one, and I'll show you why in a minute. And then this one is gonna be visuals. And then we have to go here and connect it to a new merger. So we're gonna put this in the right place. And we're gonna make it a little bit bigger. And then the only thing that we really animated for these was the write down effect here, and then the rotation. So what we did was we started keyframe, let's say we start 5. I'm gonna create a write down animation, so we have to take these off and then do the same for this one, but we're gonna go to the other side just to add a sort of interesting effect. And then we're gonna go, let's say keyframe 12, and we're gonna make it full. And later on we can adjust the animation of these when they start, because otherwise it will start really quick. Although we can leave it like that for these tutorial sake to make it simpler, and animate all of them at the same time to like do the little like curvature thingy. So the way that we're gonna do that is by going here, and let's say once the thing is done, the animation ends at 20 or 19, and we're gonna go to the rotation, which is here in the layout, and we're gonna change Z. We're gonna create a keyframe. Do the same thing for these. And we're gonna go, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say 5 keyframes. And we're gonna add a little bit of a tilt, I guess you could say. And then we go back 1 frame and add a little bit more. That's what added the little jump effect. And we're gonna do the same for the other one. So we're gonna just copy these and paste it, and then go back one frame and copy and paste it. Go here and paste it as a keyframe. And then what we need to do also is do the same thing to the transform here. So we're gonna go here to the angle, and we're gonna create a keyframe where the thing starts before they start animating. So let's see here, it starts at frame 19. We're gonna create an angle keyframe, and then we're gonna go to frame 23 and copy this Z option and paste it on the angle so it jumps at the same time as the text, you know, it follows the same text animation, so they are in synchronicity. And copy that, and then we're gonna go here and paste it. It's a lot of copying and pasting in keyframes, because we could connect it through like an expression linking, but I'm gonna show you that in another video. So that looks like that. It's a little bit different than the other one, but it looks good still. And I would like the text to be in italics, I think, for this one. So, another thing that I had in these was that the texts were in different sizes. This one was smaller, so then we can go to the transform tool here and make these smaller. So we can move these around because this transform tool position doesn't have a keyframe on it, but these other things do. And then we can move the first one and make these here and move the transform. It just depends on how you want it to look, you know? It's all up to you. All right, and then for the end, what we did was basically just follow the animation in the same way. So from this started at the right side, and we're gonna end it by going towards the left side. So we're gonna create a keyframe for the right on and for these, and then we're gonna create a keyframe for all of our masks here. So we're gonna create a keyframe here, here, go back here, and a new keyframe here. Whoops. Then we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go 4 on this, on the first one. So the background, the white part, is gonna go out first. We go to this white part, move it out, and then we're gonna go one keyframe, and we're gonna take the black part out, and then we're gonna go to this one, take the black part out. So the next thing is to animate the right on text. We're gonna go all the way out and all the way out. Let's see how that looks. And I'm gonna add a motion blur to the text also, but this one is gonna be less than the square shapes, rectangle shapes, I'm sorry. Okay, so I think we have our animation. It's a little bit different than the beginning, but it's all up to, like, you don't have to be the same every time, you know? And it also adds sort of like a shiny effect, you see? And that's it. So the last thing to do is to take the background out. So we're gonna go to black and put it into alpha. So this is what I had for today's video, and I have to go shower my dog now. So I will see you tomorrow on the next episode of 30 by 30 by SUALVI.